The year was 2249, and humanity had only just begun to stretch its fragile fingers into the wider universe. Colonies on Mars and Europa had flourished, but the real miracle came 10 years earlier when the Convergence Gate was discovered orbiting Neptune. It was not human technology. It was ancient, humming with the residue of civilizations so far ahead of humanity that their makers were long gone. The gate connected Earth's explorers to an entirely different star system, a network of worlds teeming with intelligent life. For the first time, humans were not alone, and with that revelation came treaties, conflicts, and romance. Ethan Keller never thought he'd be caught up in any of it. He was a mechanic aboard the Aurora's Edge, a starship contracted by the United Colonies to maintain trade routes through the gate. He preferred grease under his nails to politics, and machine whirs to alien chatter. But that changed the moment he met her. Her name, translated into human syllables, was Selara Vey. She belonged to a species known as the Tetraenen, a humanoid race from the planet L'Oreal, with luminous eyes like liquid crystal and hair that shimmered in shades of violet and silver depending on the light. The Tetraenen were tall, elegant, their voices melodic, as though every sentence was part of a symphony. Selara was an envoy assigned to the ship, studying human engineering methods. Ethan first encountered her when he thought he was alone in the hangar bay, repairing a power conduit. "You coax the machine as though it is alive," she observed in perfect English, though with a lilt that rolled like distant thunder. Startled, Ethan looked up, nearly dropping his wrench. "Machines are alive in a way. You treat them wrong, they bite back." Selara tilted her head, the crystalline glow of her eyes reflecting the sparks from his welder. "You think in terms like we do. My people believe in the soul of all constructs." From then on, she found excuses to linger in the hangar while Ethan worked. She would ask endless questions, not just about machines but about humanity. About how humans loved, how they dreamed, why they painted murals on their walls or sang songs when no one else was listening. Ethan, despite himself, found her fascinating. At first, it was the novelty of speaking to an alien who seemed genuinely interested in him. But soon it was more. Her laughter, a cascade like ringing chimes, lodged itself in his chest. He caught himself looking forward to her visits, thinking about her even when she wasn't there. And then one day, she asked a question that threw his world into disarray. "What do I have to do?" Selara asked, her voice softer than usual. "To marry you, human?" Ethan nearly choked on his coffee. "Marry me?" "Yes," she said plainly, as though she'd asked about the weather. "On my world, when one feels a profound bond, we do not waste cycles of hesitation. I like you very much, Ethan Keller. You are unlike anything I have known. You are vital." Ethan's heart slammed against his ribs. This was absurd. She was an alien envoy, a diplomat. He was a mechanic from Earth. And yet the sincerity in her eyes was undeniable. Middle. The problem was, marriage between a human and a Tetraen wasn't as simple as exchanging vows. Both species had laws, rituals, and political entanglements. The Union of Worlds had not even ratified policies on interspecies unions. Worse still, Selara came from a noble lineage in her society, a house bound by strict traditions. Ethan tried to laugh it off at first. "Selara, I'm flattered, but I'm just me. A grease monkey. You're practically space royalty. Don't you have, I don't know, rules about this?" She drew closer, her eyes unwavering. "That is why I ask. Among the Tetraen, a union with a human is forbidden unless the human proves themselves worthy. You must undergo the trial of bonding." The name itself sent a chill down Ethan's spine. Trial. That sounds ominous. "It is difficult," she admitted, "but not impossible. You must prove before my people that your devotion is more than impulse, that your spirit resonates with mine, despite the divide of species. Only then will they allow us to unite. Ethan thought about the long days he'd spent with her in the hangar, the quiet moments when she told him stories about L'Oreal's twin moons and the crystalline seas that shimmered under starlight. He thought about the way his heart lifted just hearing her footsteps approach. "What do I have to do?" he asked, the same words she'd once posed to him. A month later, Ethan found himself on L'Oreal, standing before a tribunal of Dern elders. Their chamber was vast, its walls alive with flowing streams of light that bent like liquid glass. Selara stood beside him, dressed in ceremonial garb that made her glow like a living star. "The human seeks bond," intoned the eldest, a woman whose eyes blazed golden. "He must pass the 3 proofs." Ethan swallowed hard. He had no idea what was coming. The first proof was the test of understanding. The elders posed questions about Terran culture, philosophy, and history. Selara had tutored him tirelessly during their voyage, and though his answers were imperfect, he spoke from the heart. When they asked why he wanted to marry outside his species, his answer silenced the chamber. "Because love doesn't care about the shape of our bones or the color of our skin or whether our blood is red or silver. When I'm with Selara, I feel whole. And if that's not reason enough, then no proof will ever be." The second proof was the trial of endurance. Ethan was led into the crystal plains, where storms of razor-sharp shards swept across the land. To endure meant to cross from one end to the other, guided only by instinct. The winds cut his skin, tore his clothes, but he pressed on, repeating Selara's name with every step like a mantra. Hours later, bloodied and exhausted, he emerged on the far side. The final proof was the most daunting, the joining of minds. The term possessed limited telepathy, and to unite with a human mind was dangerous, even potentially fatal. Both would have to open their thoughts, bare their souls. If their bond fractured under the weight of fear or doubt, both could be left broken. Lying side by side in the Temple of Resonance, Ethan reached for Selara's hand. "Ready," he whispered. Her grip was firm, her eyes blazing with warmth. "Together." And then the floodgates opened. Ethan felt himself falling into her mind, glimpsing memories not his own. The shimmering oceans of L'Oreal, her childhood laughter echoing in crystal caverns, her loneliness among nobles who valued bloodline over love. He let her see him too, the grime of Earth's factories, the wrench he held the day his father taught him to fix an engine, the nights he spent staring at the stars, dreaming of something greater. For a terrifying moment, their thoughts clashed. His raw human impulses against her disciplined Terran mind. But then came harmony, like 2 melodies weaving into a single song. They shared not just memories but feelings, hope, fear, joy, longing. And at the center of it all, love. When the link broke, they both gasped, tears on their faces. The elders, silent for a long time, finally spoke. "The proofs are past. The bond is true. The union is permitted." Ending. Their wedding was held beneath the twin moons of L'Oreal. It was unlike any ceremony Ethan had ever imagined. The town wove crystalline threads into patterns of light that danced in the air, forming living murals that told the story of their love.